So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first episode of CroomTalk, my new podcast. I'm going to have a lot of special guests, some cool people. We're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff. So, today's going to be episode 1. I'm here with one of my best friends, Behnke. We're going to take a dive into his life, talk about the things, the trials and tribulations that went on in his life, who he is as a person, and who he is today. So, without further ado, welcome, Behnke.
Thank you for having me. Insert hand clap. Thank you for having me. I'm Behnke. It's not too many interesting things about me. I think what a lot of people associate and know me for, I think, is probably some football stuff as far as coaching and just being involved in that realm of things. I coach at Canisius High School. I also run my own off-season program and whatnot for receivers, giving kids an outlet to, just better themselves, not really be on the streets and just kind of hone in on their craft for football. Um, it's just something I kind of fell in love with doing. Coaching was never something that I really even wanted to do because I enjoyed playing so much that I looked at coaching as it was just too far removed from the game. So I picked up coaching and I'm here today coaching at Canisius High School and I love it.
So, how long, because you played football when you were younger,
Mm-hmm.
did you have that vision when you played football, or was that one of those things where it became afterthought after football?
No, like I played football. I started when I was maybe 10 years old, 8 to 10 years old. And it was the first year you were able to play contact football, whatever that is. And I played, I'm from Rochester, so where I'm from, I played for the Webster Wildcats. And so shout out the Wildcats if you're still around. I started there and I just played all through high school. I played semi-pro. When I was done with semi-pro after I tore something to my knee, I was like, that's it, that's done for football. Like, wipe the hands clean, just go be a fan. And I had an opportunity from Eric Westfield from Buffalo Go reached out to me because he just knew my involvement with football, and he had told me Stevie Johnson was having a youth camp at Amherst. I was like, all right, cool, I'll shoot through. I didn't ever want to coach, like I had said. There was nothing that ever interested me, so I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll go on a Saturday morning, go chop it up with Stevie, and go help out at a youth camp. Did that, and I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, I get to be around these kids who are interested in football, as well as you're building relationships with the kids, the parents, the other coaches involved, and then from there it just went to another level. That was in the summer, and then from there I went and coached at South Park High School, which you're familiar with because that's where you went. So I coached at South Park for a year. Coach Delaney, he gave me a great opportunity. I'll forever be grateful for that because that was my first opportunity at coaching at like a high level. Like that's not youth. So he gave me the opportunity, and I kind of ran with it and fell in love with it even more. And then the off season after that season, I'd reached out to Coach K, Coach Krasansky, who was coming into Canisius with a whole new staff, trying to rebrand that program. And I was like, this is a good opportunity for me to just start somewhere and help build it. And then here I am today, a year in, and I love it there.
Ain't it crazy how like things like that work?
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
was funny too, because when I started doing pictures, it was one of those things where you were like, "Yo, come through and take pictures at this
Yeah,
football game," and like I could have easily said no,
yeah,
and like going into that situation, like the exact situation that made me grow into this person I am now,
hmm,
and to have this platform. It's like you could have easily not went to that camp
right,
and
right,
not be in the position you are, and
for
it's
sure.
just like that's why I feel like a lot of people, don't take advantage of all the situations they have because look
Hmm.
at like literally that one situation created a career
It did,
for both of us, really.
yeah, and it's crazy how it works too. Like I took one Saturday morning at Amherst and turned it into now on a weekly basis. Like I'm touching base with Penn State, Rutgers, and Syracuse about kids they're interested in, and honestly, I wouldn't trade it for the world because it's something I'm passionate about, and I get to help these kids make it from here to here, right? Like if they're interested in getting to that level, I provide them with that opportunity, if they want to work hard and to see that built from the ground up, to see these kids grind from like a lower level to then try to elevate it to where it's, acceptable for college is like super cool. Like not for me, like anything having to do with me, just to see their hard work and see them get recognized. Like it's what keeps me going, at least as a coach.
How
So
important do you feel like having people like you around to work with the youth and these kids and these young athletes to mold them into, going into college and
Hmm.
potentially the NFL? Like, what do you feel like these kids need to get around and get more involved with coaches like you and people who are willing to teach the game at a higher level?
Yeah, I mean there's so many people around Buffalo and Rochester that are providing outlets for these kids to succeed in the off season and during the season. Like it's not just me. I have my own little caveat that I do my thing that kids and parents and coaches send to me, but everyone's got their own thing. But I think everyone's got the same common goal, and that's to send the kids to the next level, whether it be D1, D2, or D3. And I tell the kids that, that are at a D3 level, and I say this to a lot of the kids, like if you have an opportunity to play D3, like near a big city, right? Go play football for 4 years, have football pay for your schooling. You're on the outskirts of a big city. When you graduate, you'll have already networked with people from around that area. You can get a great job in the city because you have already, built a foundation there. So on the field stuff, I could certainly help with, but as well as kicking game to them off the field stuff, like but if I see a kid 4 years from now that I started with as a freshman and I see him just keep building and building himself off the field as well, then I feel like I've done my job.
Yeah.
And that's big to me because I don't know what the percentage is. X amount of kids are going to go to the NFL, but if you're going to succeed, like go do your thing, have football pay for school. But when you're done with school, make sure that you are doing your thing off the field as well. And that's equally, if not more important.
That's what I feel. I don't want to say a lot of kids lack, especially around here, but like you've seen it, especially with me. Like me get emotional about kids who we know have it, like
Oh,
who
yeah.
have that ticket,
Mm-hmm.
but they're just involved in the wrong things and not putting their energy where it needs
Yeah.
to be successful. And it sucks to
Mm-hmm.
see. And like you can only do so many things and try to put these kids in so many different positions, but when they just don't want it, it's super unfortunate.
Yeah. No, I've been I know exactly what you're referring to, and I see kids go through it, and it's like you have so much potential. Like you can literally make it from wherever you're at, whether it be you're privileged, non-privileged, whatever it is. You can have like something you're good at, pay for 4 years of school, and to me that's big, right? Like you can go there, you can get the meal plan, you can get your books paid for, all that stuff if you just like do your thing. Like I tell these kids, sacrifice 4 years of high school, and you'll be set up for life. Like you'll come out of school, no debt, no anything, right? Like you'll come out just with a degree and 4 years of college football, whatever you did in high school, go to move to wherever you're gonna move to, get a good job. So I feel like letting the kids know that the NFL is ultimately the goal, right? It's not gonna work out for everybody. If it does, great. If it doesn't, like make sure you're putting your ducks in a row leading up to that, because that's gonna set you up.
So where do you like draw most of your inspiration to do the things you do?
Um, I just I think aside from and there's nothing personal that makes me drive towards it all. It's more so just seeing a kid like buy into himself and believe into himself, and to see a finished product of a kid putting in hard work is what drives me. Like
Like the "I told you so" moments. Like
yeah,
those are the
like
ones that you live for.
yeah, I see kids like I don't know. We can swear on this podcast.
Yeah.
Uh, I see a kid bust their ass in the off season, right? Like just grind, 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 throwing up on the field, like working in 90-degree July heat, doing this, that, and the third. Can't get a ride to the workout, so he's catching a bus type thing. And then he's working, 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 and then come football season time, he's just head and toes above better than everybody because he put in that work. So that to me is what drives me. Is like, all right, that kid could do it, then anybody could do it. You just got to put in the work. You got to want to do it. Like, and I have this talk with a lot of the kids that I coach currently. It's just like I'm not gonna force you to come work. If you want to come and get some work in, whatever. Like where I'm at, whenever. Like when I hold my workouts, and it's up to you to come do it. I have a kid that I pick up every Saturday, and he lives 20 minutes north from me, and then we got to drive all the way to Hamburg. I pick him up. It's about a damn near hour and 40 minutes round trip, like to me picking him up, getting there, and then driving him back home. But he just wants to be great, and he's going to be a senior this year, and I want him to be great. So I'm going to provide him with that opportunity. When the season comes around, when he's I'm going to see him progress and get better. And then when that does happen, he's going to look back and be like, damn, that was worth it. And I'm going to look back and the same thing and be like, that was worth it, because now he's going to have an opportunity.
Because you're putting in work to make it happen as well.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with me. Like, what matters to me, wins and losses, right? That's what matters to me, like X's and O's wise. He's going to contribute his own personal thing, which is going to then turn into wins for us. So if I got to go out of my way 20, 30 minutes on a Saturday once a week, that ain't nothing.
So like what you're doing now, what is like your future vision? Do you have like a goal? Do you plan to, like, obviously you plan to improve and obviously get better as everybody else should, but like, what are your aspirations? What's like the next level for you?
Personally, will be great to get a state championship ring, or win the Monsignor Martin first, which is our league that we're in with Canisius. To win that, get a state ring. Long-term goals will be, I think to be a part of a college or NFL program, I think is the ultimate goal. But
like no matter what it is though, just being a part of it.
Yeah, I want to coach or scout in some capacity, because it's just what I'm interested in. But at the same time, Canisius is such a great place that if I was there for the rest of my coaching career, I'd still be ecstatic to come in every day, because the outlets and the opportunities and everything that whole school provides me with is heads and toes better than I feel like a lot of programs around. So it's equivalent to like a small college, right? Because it's a private school. So you gotta make kids want to go there, and then when they do get there, you gotta make good on your promises that, man, hey, listen, you come here, like you can go do this, that, and the third. So I have my own thing that I gotta hold true to too, and that's like if I get a kid to want to come to Canisius and he comes, it's like now he's looking at me like, all right, cool. Now you gotta make good on that premise. I want to go to school. I want to win games. So that's why there will always be that challenge, which will continue to drive me each and every year. So
yeah. So any other things going on in your life?
Man, no, nothing too crazy. See, off season for me, I just go to my regular day job every day, and I'll get home, and my wife's got me making TikTok dinners and stuff now too. So I've gotten into.
You got to do the dances and shit too?
Nah, just like I hold the phone and I pause it whenever I got to add ingredients, and I got to just hope I'm not in her way the entire time. But yeah, I've taken a like to cooking lately.
Yeah.
It's something I wasn't really interested in before, but now like
Chef Boyardee.
Man, Chef Boyardee, I make a mean penne pasta.
Is it better than my Alfredo though?
No, because I don't home make the sauce. I go to Trader Joe's and they got some spicy stuff.
They're like, yeah, Lee, we already got it for you.
Yeah, no, I make sure the noodles is good and
the sauce. So all you're good at is boiling noodles.
Hey man, I gotta make sure.
And heating the sauce up. I respect it.
Yeah, no, I'm not the greatest cook, but I got some. I've had some good meals as of late. But yeah, no, that's kind of what I've been focused on this off season. I just spending time with her and cooking and doing stuff like that.
Yeah. It's funny. So like, hey, how passionate you are with football is what like pretty much created everything that I do, which I feel like I've talked about it a lot in interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's like if you didn't ask me to come take pictures at your one football game, like I would have never fell in love with doing photography. I would have never invested in photography. I would never like have this space and anything in it. And it's just so funny to see everything come full circle just off of making a split decision on sacrificing a little bit of time to something you have no idea where it's going to end up.
And funny story, like I know you've spoke about that multiple times on different platforms. It's funny to tell it from my perspective. So I remember, like how I met you was at the Steel Mill gym, and I remember like when I would do lifting and stuff, I'd be like, yo, can you just take my phone and take this photo of me real quick before I get this lift? And you just, try to do it. And then I think at one point you're like, I got a camera that could do it or something. I'm like, cool. And then like you took a couple photos of that, and then I remember at one point I'm like,
oh shit, I do remember that.
Yeah,
that's funny. I barely remember
so
that.
I
remember that.
That's my version. So you would just take photos of me. I'd be wearing whatever gym clothes, and I was just like, I'm about to hit 225 for one, and just be sitting there flexing. And then and then you like brought a camera, took a couple photos one time, and then I think I was like, oh, I got a game, whatever, Saturday, like slide through because it was near where you were living.
It was Mulroy.
Yeah, Mulroy.
Yeah.
So I think you came through and whatnot, and you just got you on the field. You were snapping photos of everybody, and then you just tag along to Rochester for those games, and then it turned into a thing.
Yeah,
So
Rochester really made me, man. Shout out to them.
shout out to the Sting, Monroe County Sting.
Yeah. Nah, those were some times, man.
For sure.
Like, and it's funny because football took us to fucking driving all the way down to Florida too, to go play for who was it, Brooklyn or some shit?
No, we played against Brooklyn.
Nah, who was the fucking team that you played for?
I played for the Ohio Golden Knights.
Oh, same thing.
And we played against Brooklyn.
Ohio.
We got smoked by them, but that was a cool experience. I built some good relationships with people.
Yeah, that fucking drive, man. I just remember floating in the ocean drinking 151.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Miami Beach will do it to you. You just riding the waves, sipping on something. Next thing you know,
bro, the funniest part about that trip is remember when we booked that hotel right on the beach, and we walked into our room and there was a porno going on.
Yeah, buddy had a camera and stuff set up.
That shit was nuts.
I didn't sign up for this set.
That was the first taste of Miami, baby.
Yeah.
You have this vision, you see shit on TV and the movies, you're like, damn, I didn't know it was like.
Was that your first time in Miami?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, because we stayed in Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
Or Dayton, one of them.
It was Daytona.
And then we were like, yo, let's just go down there for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, was that a fucking mistake.
Yeah. I remember my first time in Miami. I was in college, and I think it was spring. Yeah, it was spring break. And I'd driven down with a couple of my buddies, and we drove in it was a little car. I forgot what it was called, but we drove down there, whatever. And then we got there, checked into the hotel, and just went to the bar immediately. And then next thing I knew, that was like one of the first times I seen palm trees in my life. I'd never gone down that south before, so it was that was super cool. Like Miami, the first time I went there, I was like, holy cow! I remember that was the first time I ever been in the ocean as well.
Yeah. And
I was just like, this is so crazy. Like, and we were right on Miami Beach. Like when the first time I went, I was like, this is so crazy. And then I'll never forget the kid that I was with. He was like Cabo Wabo shots. I don't know if that's still a thing, but it was tequila, like in the tall glass. And I remember he's like, we got to keep doing them. I'm like, yeah, great. Next thing I know, I'm dipping my toes in the ocean. I'm like, damn, like Miami really get to you. It's noon.
Fuck.
But no, man, Miami's a good time.
Oh, for sure. We've had some fun times in Miami.
Yes.
Shit, you have too.
Yeah, Miami, that's a different beast, man.
Yeah, no, Miami's a different place. It's funny though, because you think about it too, like yeah, being in Miami for like football reasons and vacation and shit, but like looking back now, like look at the things we've gotten to do in Miami, like since then, bro. Like
yeah, no, it's we had some real cool opportunities. At least, I mean, I know you have separately too, but like for myself too, like just being around some people I've been around and getting to experience some of the things I've experienced too is just still like when I think about it, I'm like, damn, I'd have never thought as like a kid I'd be like on a private jet or on a private boat, just
private jet too.
I've been on a private jet too. Shout out Micah Hyde for that.
Yeah.
But on a boat, like just in the middle of the ocean, just all right, now you can go. We got jet skis here.
Yeah,
we got this here. I'm just like, okay, like
yeah,
you can jump off up here.
It's funny though, because I look at situations like that as like you're in a position, not necessarily a position, but like you're just around people and doing things that 90% of people will never do for the rest of their life.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like even taking a plane, like how many people never take planes before, or even like leave the state.
Yeah.
Like to think about, we did a football camp for 2 hours, took a private jet from here to Ohio, and came back 2 hours later.
That's still one of the craziest things I've done. Yeah. No, that was cool, and that's why. And like I said, shout out Micah Hyde. Like he'll forever be like the guy for that, right? Like, oh yeah, hop on this private jet at so and so o'clock. Come help me with my camp, and you can go home. Like what?
Yeah.
Like yeah, when and where? Like
nah, that shit was so funny, bro. Remember because Micah wanted me to make food for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They were at the house super early making breakfast sandwiches that nobody ate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was funny. It was me, Reggie Gillian, Trey White, Isaiah, and you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were a little, I mean, everybody was a little scared of the PJ. It was a little more wobbly than your average plane. We got some funny videos that we ain't going to show you, but.
That was a good time.
It definitely separated the men from the boys.
Remember when I popped little thing up.
Yeah, right.
And Isaiah started making fun. He's like, "Yo, is he good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like, aren't we playing cards?
We were taking off on the plane, and it was doing its thing, and we barely got off the ground. So Trey White's already got his hood over his head. He's just looking down. He's freaking out, and me and Isaiah are just laughing because Lee don't like to fly. He can act like he does after he kind of popped his little flying cherry, but he does not like to fly. So we're wobbling and shit. You know, like when you're super uncomfortable in a position or a situation, you just start to do shit. Whether you're moving your hands,
Start to
touching
fidget.
shit, like we're all just sitting on an airplane, like how you sit on an airplane. Lee's looking around. He finds like this table that pulls out inside of the wall. He's pulling it out, flipping it out. And Isaiah's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I thought we were playing cards." It's like, "Bro, we're playing cards on this table. We've been playing for 30 minutes." It was such a funny little situation too, just to see like, just like you're sitting in an airplane and 2 feet behind you are the guys flying the damn thing.
I think the thing that tripped me out the most about that was, I think it was on the way back. I didn't realize how high we were, but the commercial flights must have their own like lanes that they go through, like airspace and whatnot. And I remember like we were so high up, I don't know where we were, but I remember the commercial flights were all below us. And I'm looking down like, why would they send the PJ up like higher? Like it's a smaller plane. I mean, it must be a thing, but I remember that's what tripped me out the most. I'm like, bro, like
that's when you gave up. You're like, I'm fucking, because we would go to Florida all the time and we would drive, and it would sound so fun when you would think about it and start it, but then you're halfway there and you're like, fuck this, and then after you're little and you enjoy yourself, it's time to go back home. It's like, nah.
The drive home.
But you were so mind blown. You're like, dude, I can't believe we just went to Ohio and came back and it's 2:00.
So what happened was we went to Ohio, whatever, made the breakfast in the morning, went to Ohio, did a whole camp, came all the way home, and I was in time for dinner. Like me and my wife went out to dinner that night. I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. 5:30.
I just remember you're like, yeah, dude, we're definitely flying to the Keys next time.
Yeah, and then we drove.
Oh,
Prior to that, we drove to the Keys, and that's why I'll never drive to Florida again because of that.
I don't remember the timeline.
No, we drove to the Keys like from my bachelor party.
Well, I think that was before that.
No, it was, but I'm just saying like that's when I was like, fuck flying or fuck driving type thing. I'm only flying because that was so crazy.
But it's funny, bro, because when we went to the Keys, we flew into Lauderdale, rented a car, and drove to the Keys, and it still sucked.
Terrible. 3 hours, I'm like, fuck this.
We pulled over. We're in the Keys, sleeping next to the ocean.
With the van?
With a van full of fucking 8 people.
Man.
What a time.
It was, when was that? Oh, that was 4th of July weekend.
I mean, still.
So it was hot as a motherfucker.
It was definitely worth it, though. Yeah. That was a great time.
The Keys, yeah, my dad's there now.
Yeah, the 4th of July was fucking.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was a blast. Man, I'll never forget you and the buddy with the same shirt.
Oh, dude, that was nuts. Yeah, that was wild.
To this day, I don't know, Shane, I don't know if you've seen it or know about it.
He probably did.
So I'll just tell a quick story for the camera too. But my dad has a place in the Keys, and it's a small island. It's Cujo Key. It's whatever, between wherever mainland is and Key West. And so we're at it's 11 a.m. We're going to the liquor store
Not
just to
even
get
this.
some.
Just picture how the Keys is pretty much like one main road,
right?
That goes on for endless miles until the end of the Keys, and like there's a couple streets that go left. There's a couple streets that go right, and like just to be in the same place at the same time with somebody wearing the same exact outfit as me,
same size too,
was the wildest shit I've ever experienced in my life. I should have played the lottery that day.
Yeah.
But I couldn't fucking believe it. Like, dude, I just remember
that was so.
I just remember being in the store and I'm looking for high noons and you're just like, I just hear you out of nowhere. No way, no way. And I'm looking. Manny's calling me. I'm like, dude, what's up? He's like, did you see your twin just walk in? I look and this dude's wearing the same
thing.
Fashion Nova outfit as me. It was one of the wildest things that I could remember happening.
Yeah, and from my perspective, it was wilder because I remember I wasn't getting anything from there. So like you were getting something, and I remember I was just walked in with you, so I'm just looking around and stuff. I obviously know what you're wearing, and then I did one of these to the door. I seen somebody walk in, and I was huh? Like no way.
You're like, yo, Joe, and you're like, oh wait, you're not Joe.
Yeah, bro, I couldn't believe it. I'm just like,
I'll put the picture on the screen to show you guys.
And the whole time I was thinking, I'm like, where's the Impractical Jokers? Like, where's Justin Bieber with Punk?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way this is happening.
Yeah, that was a funny time.
Yeah, no, that was fun.
Yeah, so aside from seeing once in a lifetime things in the Keys. Any other activities or hobbies or interests you have?
I think still the sneaker game been something that I've like followed and spent copious amounts of money on.
What a word! Can you
Good
spell
word.
that? You don't have to.
Copius. I
mean,
think
we'll see.
we'll fact check it. But no,
Check it, Jamie.
But no, good. Yes.
Woo!
1 for 1. 3rd grade spelling bee champ. But no, just sneakers has been something I follow that's not sports, I guess. Something I've been interested in since I was young. 'Cause obviously when I was in like high school and stuff, I couldn't afford to get all like the J's and stuff like
So
that.
you're into like the releasing type of shoes. You're not into just shoes that kind of exist already, if that makes sense.
No, I know
Does
what
that
you
make
mean.
sense?
No, I mean as I've gotten older, honestly, like I just appreciate like a good shoe.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like the hype shoes is what I hate the most. Like the Black Pandas, you'll never see me wear them just because everybody and their mothers got them, and they do 10 releases a year on them. I like things that are unique. Like, I have a pair of, and you can attest to because you had seen them, and when I won the raffle for them, but the Travis Scott 1 highs,
Yeah.
like,
Well, didn't you win 2 pairs?
yeah, I sold one of them,
Yeah.
and I kept a pair. That are still on ice too. I've never worn them.
Cactus Jacks or something.
They're Cactus
like
Jacks, yeah, but they're the Travis Scott 1 highs.
Yeah.
And I still have the laces are in the bags type thing. Like I've never worn them, and I've told myself for years since I got them, like I'm gonna wear them on a special occasion. It's just, I just have never seen a time where I'm just gonna wear them. So I just let them to keep accumulating value, and maybe one day I'll wear them. But I'm definitely not gonna sell them though.
Yeah. See, I have a lot of shoes too, but I'm not a sneakerhead. I don't have anything crazy. Like it's funny. I'd say probably close to like 60 pairs of Nikes, and I haven't had my first pair of Jordans till you bought me that pair of Jordans. Like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't have any. Like I feel like I do have a couple pairs of shoes that are like I don't want to say like higher end shoes, but like I have all the Katie and Pearls. I have like a pair of LeBron. I don't think they're Christmases. They might be.
I think they're. I think
the
you do have the
icy
Christmas
blue ones. I still have those in the box.
Yeah.
Never wore them.
Yeah. You have some Kyrie's?
Yeah, I got a lot of Kyrie's.
I love Kyrie's.
I actually have a pair of Kyrie's. I don't know what they're called, but I think they're like 1 in 200 or 100.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that Marcel plugged me with.
Yeah. Yep.
Those are probably like one of my favorite shoes. I love Kyrie's. They're probably the most comfortable shoe, at least for me.
It's a shame that that Nike did whatever they did because now there's no more releases of them. It's a shame. I have a pair I've wore like 2 or 3 times that they're the Kyrie 2s. They're like purple. They have a metallic silver swoosh on them, and they got like a gum bottom. They're super nice and comfortable. I don't wear them off because they're really loud, but that's a shoe that's just like to me, it's super like nobody be like, oh, I want to go get those.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like these are fire. Like these are cool as hell.
What do you think the most overrated shoe is?
The ones I said, the Pandas.
Yes, yeah, I think
no
foam
doubt
posits are overrated.
Foams are uncomfortable as shit. I don't care what anybody says.
They look fucking stupid.
That's what I mean, and they're uncomfortable. The sides are like plastic.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna tell me that's comfortable? You're walking around, damn well your ankle's rubbing on that, and you got some calluses and whatever else.
Them shoes are not it.
Nah, I don't care what anyone says. The Galaxy foams, like.
See, the reason I'm saying I hate foams, right, is because I tried to order the Kobe Christmases, the red high tops, my favorite shoe ever, the red high tops, and I ordered them from this fucking website. Didn't know what the fuck the website was, but I ordered them, and they were like $380. They sent me my money back, and then they're like, yeah, we're out of the shoes or whatever, and they're like, we'll send you a bunch of a list of these shoes that we have in your size. So they sent me like the Galaxy foams, and those looked fire.
On paper, those are worth some money.
Bruh, so I get these fucking shoes, bro.
You got the Galaxies?
The shoes that they sent me.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking the fakest shoes you ever seen in your life, bro.
You got finessed?
Bro, they didn't even look like they made sense. Like the soles were on top of each other, like on the outside and shit. And they were just purple instead of the Galaxy. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I mean, these are cool shoes to wear. I should probably wear them. And I'm like, ain't no way that they look like this, bro. And I'm looking at a picture of them, and I'm looking at the shoes I got, and I'm like, hell no. Damn. Like, just imagine, because I'm a size 13.
Right.
So, like, imagine a shoe that looks like it's a 13, but it's designed that it's like a kid shoe. You know how like
Oh
the
yeah.
seams are super
Yep.
tiny and like the soles are a little larger. That's what the shoe looked like to me, and I'm like, I got
Damn.
finessed.
That's a
But
shame.
I'm like, I mean, like I can only imagine what I would have got though if they would have sent me the Kobe Christmases though.
Yeah, that's true. How much you pay for those?
They gave them to me.
Oh, they gave them to you.
Yeah, because it was like because I bitched about it because I ordered the Kobe Christmases and I didn't get them for 4 weeks or no type of information or
Yeah.
anything.
That's still crazy though.
That's probably would have given it for me for free because they probably just made them.
That's my biggest fear now with shoes though, is just like there's so many fakes going around.
But that's why I try to stay out of that game.
Oh yeah. No, and I'm not even involved as much as I used to. Like if I want something, like I have a couple of reputable sources that I'll like go to for them. Like it's text heavy, it'll be
Yeah.
expensive, but at the same time I know I'm getting something real. But now even those like reseller sites like StockX and Go, like
Yeah, but didn't StockX get into some shit?
oh yeah, and that's what I mean. Like that's supposed to be a site that has legit checkers,
That's where
all
I buy
this.
all my shit.
But like now, when you order them from overseas or wherever the cheap ones come, they be selling them with the StockX tag on them.
Yeah.
Because I watch this guy Rami the Icon. He does sneaker buying and whatnot like that. So he has to legit check them when they come in because even though they have the StockX thing, like that's a red flag now. As if they have StockX, I'm like, damn, can't
I
even
should
trust
probably
that.
take my shit off, bro. I
Yeah.
have a pair of the KD and Pros up there with that on
Yeah.
there.
No, like I
feel like,
don't
I
know.
feel like keeping it on is like keeping the tag on your hat on.
Yeah. No, I mean, at one point it was a thing, but now it's like, I don't know how they're getting past legit checked when you could look at them in the toe box. Isn't springy, like it just stays down. Like I know that's a telltale sign of how something's fake. So it's a shame, but that's why I'm not into it like myself anymore. But I have a lot of shoes that are just on ice still that I've been had. Like these right here, the Black Cement 3s. Like I've had these forever. Every time I wear them, clean them off as soon as I get home. Put the tissue back in the toe of it. Put it right back in the box. Goes back in the closet. See you again in 3 months.
It's funny. So I'm not into shoes like that at all. But it's funny because like pretty much year to date, you know, we had your birthday party here,
Mm-hmm.
and I just knew he liked shoes, so I'm like, I'm gonna go buy him some shoes for his birthday, and I bullshitted him because I'm the best bullshitter in the world. So I hit him up. I'm like, yo, I just ordered these shoes online, and they gave me the wrong size. Like, what size are you? Because if they're your size, I'll give them to you, so I don't got to return them. He told me what size he was, and all I needed was him to do that just so I can go buy him some shoes. So I'm like, I'm gonna buy him some Jordans. I'm not gonna spend crazy money on some Jordans. I'm like, I'll just buy him like 2 pairs of like $120 Jordans or whatever. So like I went in there, like I feel like the average Jordans look kind of dope. Like
Yeah.
just like the colorways, whatever. That's why I'm not like a super picky sneaker guy because I like colors. I don't care about what name the sneaker is and why it's $200
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than this one. I'm not into that. So when I went in there was like a big ass line outside of JD's. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not standing in this line. So I go inside and I'm like strictly business. Because I'm like, I'm just going to get these shoes. I'm like, hey, can I get this and this and this size? And then dude comes close to me and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? And he like whispers in my ear. He goes, what were they called?
They're the Racer Blue
The,
5s.
the fives?
Yeah.
That's what he said, yeah. He's like, yo, you want the fives? And I go back. I'm like, what the fuck are the fives? And he's like, we got 1 pair left and they're in that size. And I'm looking at this line and I'm like, is that what they're waiting for? He's like, yeah. He's like, fuck yeah, I'll take them, bro.
Yeah.
So he fucking goes in the back and I'm sitting there tripping because I had a little bit of money on me, but I'm like, usually when people wait in line for shoes, they're like the super expensive shoes. So I'm kind of sweating. I'm like, yo, buddy, before you go back there, how much is these? I think he's like, he said like 2 something. I'm like, fine. I'm like, I'll take 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I remember cashing out, whatever. And I'm with my daughter. So this is the funny part of the story. Remember I called you, but I didn't at the same time.
You were just telling me somebody was like following you. I'm like,
yeah.
what?
It's funny. So, I cash out and I'm with my daughter and I got the bag and some dude walks by me and looks in my bag and I'm super like like aware of my surroundings at all times. And I'm like, the dude looked in my bag and I looked at him and he looks at his boy who's outside the store and gave him a nod. So I'm like, oh, these dudes wanted these shoes. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, these dudes are either gonna try me or follow me or try to take these shoes. And I'm with my daughter, so I'm like, this is gonna get really interesting real fast. So I'm like, all right, let me just take it. Let me just make sure it's legit first. So I'm like, I'm taking my ass to Victoria's Secret to see if they really want these shoes. So I walk out of there. I'm looking, dudes at the escalator. I walk by them. And then next thing you know, they're following me. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm in Victoria's Secret, and I'm taking my sweet ass time because I want to see how bad these dudes want these shoes. I'm looking at underwear. I'm looking at bras. I'm talking to people who are in there because I used to work there. And I'm just like, okay. I'm like, these dudes really want these shoes. So then I'm like, I'm going to go into that, I don't know what it is, like that foreign store where they have like the sculptures and all that shit, like the wind catcher or dream catchers and shit.
Downstairs?
Yeah.
I know the one you're talking about. I don't know what it's called.
So I go in there, and I'm like, ain't no way, dude, somebody's just going to walk in here. So I'm in there. Bro, they go in there, too. Now there's 3 of them. I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm like, I'm going to my car. I'm like, whatever happens, happens. And then I'm walking, and I see the same dude that gave the dude the nod, like, at the door. So I walk right by him. I was like, bro, you got to be smarter than that. He goes, all right, man, whatever, and he walks away. I'm like, all right, bet. So I come here. I'm like, yo, Lee, I don't know what the fuck these are, but happy birthday.
Hey, man. I rocked them a couple of times, too. Actually, every time I go to UB, I wear them.
Yeah.
Because they're the same colors. They're super fire.
Now, those shoes were funny. I don't remember the dude who worked there, but I told him to hit me up because I wanted to take him to a Bills game or something because that was a super genuine thing that he didn't have to do.
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't even looking for him to do, but that was pretty dope for him to kind of just skip the 50 people to plug me in. I'm sure his boss didn't appreciate it, but I did, and I'm sure you did too.
Yeah, no, they're super clean. They're suede on the outside too, black suede. Yeah. They're super clean. That's not something you want to wear in the rain though. So I'm selective when I do wear them, but they're super nice. And the funniest part about them is on the outside of the box, whoever they were reserved for, the name is still on there. and every time like I'm looking in my sneaker closet area, I'm looking at them like that's funny as hell. So I leave it on there too, just as a reminder. Yeah, every time. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's a good little story.
You got any future plans? Anything coming up? Little trip to Nashville.
Little trip to Nashville in a couple months.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Luke Combs concert.
Mm-hmm. I'm super excited for
Pit
that.
tickets. Nice little Airbnb ski.
Yeah, I've never been to Nashville, but I love
with the
country
boys
music.
from Maryland.
Yeah, that's gonna be a nice guys trip, man.
And you're gonna dabble in a little bit of golf too.
Play best ball because my ball's going that way if I'm trying to hit that way. That's one thing, honestly. Like people ask me all the time too, like, "Oh, you golf? You want to golf?" I'm like, I don't know if you want to go down that road because that road does.
You know what's funny, dude? Is you know who like was the same way? Caleb Presley.
Really?
Yeah. So like he had the same thing. Like, oh, I don't want to golf because I'm just gonna hold you up or whatever. So he ended up like during COVID, like as everybody else did.
Yeah.
They played golf because there's nothing else to do.
Right.
So I guess the first time he went golfing, he fell in love with it, and he like quit his job and tried to be a professional golfer.
No shit.
Like because he fell in love with it so much.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll be you.
Well, I mean, remember during COVID though, that was the height of my golfing.
Last time I saw you golf was when you asked me to be your best man, and that was the only time I ever drank on the golf course.
Yeah.
I got iced.
That was a good time. With the big one though too.
But I paid you back at your wedding.
You did.
I didn't get to pay you back as best as I wanted to because as soon as everybody got to your reception, it was time for my speech that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And my speech came with an ice, a table jump through, and a speech.
Table jump through was so epic though.
Yeah.
Like when people talk to me about my wedding still, they're like,
yeah.
Or when you jump through a table, I'm
like,
I remember.
I feel bad because like I could see in the video like the way you bounce off the ground, like dude, that shit had to hurt.
No, it really didn't. Like
you were drunk as fuck.
Yeah, I didn't even feel it the next day. But the thing that concerned
your wedding
me
was wild too.
It was, and when people tell me about it, still to this day, like there's dollar bills getting thrown on the dance floor. I'm just like, golly, my dad ripped your shirt.
The funniest part about your wedding was the next day or something like that. Because I remember texting you, and I'm like, yo, like, did we eat? I'm like, I don't remember eating.
I know.
And then you sent me the picture of me just walking around with my shirt ripped on the fucking dance floor.
Yeah.
You iced me on the golf course. And then I tried to pay you back by icing you at your wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the best man speech came as soon as everybody sat down at your reception, which completely ruined my vibe because I had such a speech plan that also came with action. I had a table in my car that you were supposed to jump through, as well as the Smirnoff you were going to have to chug. So
but I did jump through the table.
Yeah, but that's because I had a part 2 of my best man speech 40 minutes later.
True.
They wouldn't let me not do it either. Like what I want, I literally have what I wanted to say in my phone. Let me see if I can find it.
I still got air on that table jump though.
When'd you get married? 2021?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You better read it right here.
No, I mean, I have bullets, like legit. Like it's legit. I wrote this on September 25th, 2021 at 9:13 a.m.
That was the day I got married.
Well, I needed to get it together. So I wanted to talk about some funny shit. I wanted to talk about your dad, which I did get to talk to. Then I wanted to ice you. Then I wanted to do the table. Then I want to talk about your passion for love and your happiness and growing up and how proud of you I am. And then I want to talk about your dad. And I just feel like the way it went from like me knowing what I needed to say, then getting really emotional because I was drunk, and then it just went right from like there to just like, because it sucked because there's such a gap of like the icing and the table that didn't exist. So I'm like, how do I make this all flow?
Right.
So I just remember like getting emotional and just talking to your dad and telling you guys like I had the best time of my life when we were down there for your bachelor party and stuff like that. And then I was kind of pissed off because I'm like, this was supposed to be a fun, energetic moment, and here I am like
pissed and sad.
Like, damn, like you can't let me do this in 20 minutes.
Right.
Like I literally had like my boy go get the table out the car. He walks in the back like episode of SpongeBob, just like
for real. Remember what I told you from my perspective what it looked like? You're sitting there giving the best man speech, and I knew what was about to happen. And then I see just like him sitting there with the table like this in the hallway, and I'm doing one of these like, damn. And then I'm starting to like paint the landscape of the place. Like so where am I going to jump her from? And then like he just came out and set that shit up. It was right under the chandelier. And that whole time I'm like, damn, like I can't like jump super high, but my bald ass head's about to hit that.
I feel like I had the microphone.
You did.
Okay.
Because remember the photo of you like, like you definitely had the mic.
We'll post some pictures and videos on the screen here.
But no, I remember like my biggest concern, I had two big concerns. One, when I jumped because we had put the table on the dance floor or the chair that I was jumping off of, that it would slide out. And like I remember I held the chair, right? I think I had said something. And my other thing was like, it was right under the chandelier. And I'm like, damn, like if I really like, try to house this thing, it's going to be bad news bears. Ambulance might be here, but it went off and I just laid there and just did one of these things. And my Uncle Jeff loved it. Like, beyond belief.
Nah, the funny thing about that whole day was that was my goal for that was my goal before you were even like getting a speech. I was like it was like Lee's jumping through the table and then I'll worry about writing a speech. Mm-hmm. But like I didn't even want to say anything, bro. But I remember I told your wife that morning, and she was fucking livid. She's like, "You're not fucking doing that." And then Brooke was the same energy, and I'm like they sit in the corner like, man, I'm gonna fucking do it anyway, man. This is fucking bullshit. And then I got to the point where I'm like, dude, I'm gonna have to probably just tell you like this is what I want to do because as far as I'm concerned, the main person whose day this is not with it at all. I gotta at least make it 50-50. Right. I don't know. I didn't tell you. I did.
No, you did. Remember
I did tell you like 5 minutes before.
Remember you brought it up. I was like, oh yeah, like
we're going. I'm like,
I'm going to the table.
All right, Chris, run it up.
Yep.
Bring the table.
I didn't even second think it, but
we jumped.
Rachel was cool with it though. At the end, I mean, it was what it was.
I think she probably the money, right?
Yeah. I think like her impression of what was about to happen was like way crazier than what it actually was. She probably thought
the top of an RV and messing the table,
like while I'm drinking 2 beers, just like a regular Sunday for me at a Bills game type thing. But no, it honestly like made the wedding because when people like talk about it, they bring that up. That was a blast. I actually think I was concerned about the most like after I was like, yeah, I'm about to do it. Was like the wedding coordinator and everything being like
I thought the venue was gonna be a little salty.
They didn't trip about it at all. They're like, yep, let's get the table cleaned up and get people to dancing. So shout out Russell's because
it was cool too because remember that was when I was on my vodka Red Bull kick.
Yeah.
And I remember your uncle was so adamant about going to get me Red Bull. He literally left to get me Red Bull so I can get smoked that night.
Yeah. So funny story about that too, same uncle, my Uncle Jeff, who I already shouted out. When we had sat down for dinner, like when they had cut off the bar for that hour for dinner, he knew I liked Tito's and soda or whatever. So I remember he came with a fistful and just like set them down. He's like, because the bar is closed, you need these. Yeah. Like it was fuel for me to keep going. They were like,
listen, we're tired of seeing this shit on social media. We need to see it live.
Yeah. So he just started feeding me them, and I'm sitting there, I'm eating a steak with this hand, sipping with this hand.
I couldn't even tell you what was for dinner, bro.
It was good. It was cool.
I don't remember shit, bro.
Russell's does a really good job.
Yeah, I actually have to shoot a wedding there this year.
They do a good job. I would actually recommend them.
I think their reception might be in the same room as yours.
That was good. It was a good room. That whole situation worked out like perfectly and whatnot. I don't remember like the end of the night. The last thing I remember, wildest thing about that night is, the food was done. Everyone's dancing on the dance floor. Damn, I'm hungry. And we had got the late night appetizers and all that stuff. And
And I remember it was like area that I had to go around to like get the finger food and the late night appetizers. And I remember I was just like,
See, I don't remember that either.
at one point I was just like, I looked around and I'm just like, yeah, this is my wedding. And I remember there was chicken bites and like this big bowl with a couple dipping sauces. And I reached over and just clawed it and just took it and just took no sauce, nothing, just on the way back to the dance floor, just popping the things in my mouth. I woke up the next morning. I'm like, damn, I don't remember coming back to my room. And then I looked at my phone. Just like, see, I got, congratulations text, all this. And I got the text from Justin. It's just him. Me and my wife passed out in the bed. She's still in her wedding dress. I'm still in my suit fully. And he's just selfie and just like this. I'm like, damn, that's how the night ended. But it's classic photo. Shout out Justin for capturing that moment. Didn't even know you were coming back to the room, but.
No, that was funny. And then your other boy, he didn't even make it.
I told you the other day, I sent him the text in our group. My friends from like New York City and stuff the other day, and like I sent him, I'm like, damn, still can't believe Elijah didn't make it to it.
Yeah,
he's got the.
Bro, I remember I got a picture of him. I'll put it up on the screen. He was just in the back of the limo like this. You could just see it in his eyes. He was done.
Yeah,
I remember the photographers getting pissed because we needed to do a couple more photos, and he was just fucking gone.
Yeah, on a wedding day, like. You want to have fun and do everything, but you don't realize how many obligations you have throughout. It's crazy. Like,
what's funny is like even like talking to people more, especially like being involved with weddings for photography. It's like I feel like people act like like on weddings like it's supposed to be your special day, whatever. But it's like I feel like the bride is the most stressed out person on their wedding day because there's so many things that have to happen. Like that's one thing I think that's so different than like weddings back in the day. Weddings back in the day were just like, you get married, you take pictures and you enjoy yourself. But now it's like you have a list of all the things you need to do to where it's like you almost have like 20 alarm clocks on your wedding day. And it's like you can't even really enjoy your day. You get like the little parts, but it's like it's like here we gotta take pictures. Oh, we gotta cut the cake. Oh, we need to go here to do pictures. Oh, you need to take a picture with your aunt. Oh, you need it's just like, let me enjoy my fucking day.
There's a lot, like, obviously you're with the wedding party when we went around, like, the city and took photos downtown and stuff. Like, I get all those obligations and whatnot. Then you get to the venue after the church and the photos and whatnot, and you're, like, ready to let loose. And you walk in, it's like, now we got to take the photos here, too. I'm like, damn. I didn't had a lot to drink already.
Yeah.
But we'll make it happen. So I had to take family photos, this and that. Then we come through, everyone's sitting down, enjoying, like, the appetizers and stuff. And they're like, no, you guys got to take more photos over here. Did that. And then everybody's sitting down. You're like, all right, cool. I get to go up to the top. And like, no, now you got to cut the cake. I'm like, I don't even know if I can make a straight line, but sure. And then we cut the cake, did all that thing. Then we get up to the, where we're sitting at the top and whatnot. Then there's the dances and all that stuff. You have to go to each table while everybody's dancing and say hi to each table and whatnot. Yeah. So it is a lot. Like, I had a blast. Don't get me wrong, but you have to pace yourself throughout the day.
Yeah.
If you're getting married, like that's a grind.
Yeah.
But it was a blast.
But like it definitely is a stressful day more than you get to enjoy it. Not saying like you didn't enjoy your day, but like the amount of things that are so meticulous during that day are not what you expect before the day comes.
Right. Like it's just little things. Like as the photographer's like doing your photos, like, I'm having a great day with my now wife, right? And then she's like, no, tilt your head a little more to the right. I'm like, okay.
Like, listen, I've been doing this for 25 minutes.
I'm just like, can I just like kiss my wife type thing? And they're just like, you got to do it more this way. I'm like, no, we've been doing this the same way for 10 years. Like, I ain't doing it a different way. But it's cool though, man. Like, it was such a fun time. I wish we could do it again.
We'll have to do a part 2 after Nashville, baby.
Yeah, Nashville. I can't wait.
I've been to Nashville, but I think my expectations for Nashville are so high because I went during a Bills game, and the streets are closed off, and there's 20,000 Bills fans. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a little exaggerative because I don't know how many people can fit in that stadium, but like,
I bet you there was more than 20.
I don't know.
You think about it, each stadium probably holds like 70-ish.
Okay, well then I'll stay with that. No, but like that whole vibe was insane. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody's on the same page. Like, we're putting kids through college through like the amount of money we're spending at these bars and clubs. Like,
for sure.
Nashville is fucking beautiful. Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait for Raising Cane's more than anything, but I'm sure Nashville will be cool too.
Man, I've never been to Nashville, so my expectation, I'm not really sure what it is, but I have a high expectation because I feel like over the past like 5 years, I've grown to love, actually more than that, probably like 7 years, I've grown to love country music. So I'm excited to just see that scene just
Yeah.
up close and just be a part of it. And it's going to be in April too, so the weather will be semi-decent down there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to just be a part of that. Listen to some country music, be around cool people, and just the concert too itself is just going to be like unreal.
Yeah. One thing too is like, you know, with me doing these pods now and stuff like that, I'm obviously gonna be in front of the camera more. Like if you guys want to come along on that trip, because we might have a couple podcasts actually lined up, which we talked about prior to shooting this. I might vlog it as well. We can do like a little golf vlog. Like the people we're gonna be with are super chill, love to be in front of the camera as well. So if that's something you guys are interested in, you know, let me know, and we'll just bring the camera along and shoot the shit. But other than that, this is a wrap on our first episode here with Lee Behnke. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. It was a blast.
Absolutely.
Excited to see this thing grow.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice.
Well, until the next time.
I can't take no